स्कूल का हो या हमारे यूथ लीडर्स जो कॉलेज का एक्सपीरियंसेस हो, कोई भी एक्सपीरियंसेस हो या मेरा खुद का TCLB का एक्सपीरियंस हो, मुझे वो कुछ भी ऑटोमेटिक नहीं था. मतलब जो आप कह रहे हैं कि हाँ इनजस्टिस या ह्यूमिलेशन कुछ भी ऑटोमेटिक नहीं है और सब कुछ ऑर्गेनाइज्ड है और डेली उसको ऑर्गेनाइज़ किया जा रहा है. कल अगर लाइब्रेरी होगी तो उसके थ्रू भी चीज़ों को ऑर्गेनाइज़ किया जाएगा. लाइब्रेरी बहुत अमेजिंग ऑर्गेनाइजिंग टूल है और इसको प्रोपोगेंडा के लिए भी यूज़ किया जाएगा और इसको रेजिस्ट करने के लिए भी यूज़ किया जाएगा. तो जो हमारी जो मांग है मुझे लगता है वो यही है कि हम तो रेजिस्ट करने के लिए यूज़ करने वाले हैं और हमें सबसे पहले स्पेस को हड़पना पड़ेगा.
थैंक यू सो मच एवरीवन फॉर लिसनिंग टू अस. इस पॉलिसी की जो हम लोग लगातार बात करें, इसको आप लोग पढ़ सकते हैं ऑनलाइन. QR कोड आप लोगों को जो एजेंडा मिला है उसमें है. और प्लीज़ डू रीड दिस, डू डिमांड गवर्नमेंट अ फ्री लाइब्रेरी पॉलिसी. एंड थैंक यू सो मच फॉर जॉइनिंग अस.
Yes. Thank you so much, Sathis. And I know many of you are from Delhi, but whichever part of the country you're in, everybody in Delhi is invited to the free libraries of the network. And we can tell you how and where. There's Sumit's beautiful, the community library project, which is in Delhi, and all of their libraries. Do walk into a free library. It is truly a place of justice, no matter how big or small the quote-unquote scale. Thank you so much. We are running a little late, for which I apologize yet again. But I would like to now welcome to the stage Shri K.N. Srivastava ji, Director of IIC, who has served the people of India as an IAS officer in many sectors, including the Ministry of Culture, under whose aegis libraries fall. So with gratitude, sir, for partnering with us for this conference, please offer your valedictory remarks.
At the very outset, I would like to compliment the organizers of this very important event at IIC. And I'm really pleased to see participants coming from all over the country, and extremely pleased to see the young participants. Ladies and gentlemen, it is both a privilege and honor to stand before you today as we conclude the momentous event, building the People's Library, public library reforms in India. I compliment the Free Libraries Network for organizing this very important and thought-provoking program. I believe in this program the essential role of public libraries in fostering democracy, in promoting lifelong learning, and enabling access to knowledge for all have been re-emphasized. The distinguished speakers presented the role and the outreach of libraries where the people's right to read is honored, their voices amplified, and their experience nurtured. I understand Dr. Srivastava presented insight into the Kerala library movement and very educatively emphasized as to how education can be reached to the masses and drive community empowerment. Mrs. Emily Drabinsky, I hope I am pronouncing your name correctly, in her key note address told to us the importance of public libraries as a collective space for engagement and inclusivity. Grace Banu reminded us right to read is not merely an idea but a constitutional imperative, one that remains out of reach for many. People's Library Network policy, the People's National Library Policy 2024 presented today is a bold step forward. It explains as to how the libraries are beacons of social justice and empowerment. I was very patiently listening to the discussion that took place in the last panel, where this point was really brought out very, very forcefully. Our aim is to expand our libraries' access so that libraries can be reached by marginalized communities also. Libraries also need secured resources, and in the age of CSR, it should not be difficult for us for tapping avenues and resources for the library movement as such. Collaboration between policymakers, educators, publishers, and library workers could create a robust ecosystem for public library movement. As we conclude this program, let us carry forward the energy, ideas, and resolves generated here today. Let us commit ourselves to champion public libraries as an indispensable pillars of our democracy and catalyst for social transformation. I extend my deepest appreciation to our distinguished speakers, the organizing team, and every participant who contributed to the success of this event. Together, let us build libraries that truly belong to the people and that is inspired, empowered, and transformed. Ladies and gentlemen, I would like to say a little more about the importance of public library based on my own personal experience. I hail from eastern UP, from a very, very not so backward now, but it was very backward, area. We have all benefited, because of through the public libraries. If public libraries were not there, perhaps you would not have been able to reach where we are today. I also recall, I'm talking of the period when we were doing schooling, late 50s, early 60s. I could get a feel that there was a movement, library movement, which was really sweeping the entire country. And very, very important, public libraries were set up in every part of the country. And that thing continued even in the university education. I got my university education from Allahabad University. There, because of very robust, university libraries that we were able to access to higher education, and we are all benefited. I also recall when I was, qualified the written test in IIS, for my interviews, I was that time in Calcutta. I used to spend many days and days together to prepare myself for interview, sitting in the National Library at Calcutta. So the library is definitely there. They are whatever has been mentioned here by the various panelists and speakers. They are really true, because through the library movements we can achieve several things for our society which are really very important and required for us. The American, universities, and other West European countries' universities who are attracting students from all over, and one of the reason is that they've got very, very, resourceful libraries where you can have access to all kinds of information and knowledge, which ultimately, shapes your personality. Somehow in our country, we find that this library movement, which started earlier, is not having the same kind of force and thrust. So I think through these kind of events, that spirit can be reignited. And as I was mentioning, that resource is not a problem. India is now developing very fast as economic power, and the CSR thing which I just mentioned short while ago is one route through which a lot of resources can be garnered for the library purposes. Before I end, two more things. One is that today IIC is known not only in India but also all over the world. One of the reason is that its recognition is by its very rich library. And anyone who is aspiring to become a member, wanting to associate themselves with the IIC, one of the reasons they invariably say is that you have got such a rich library. So I am very proud of our library here, and I would like all of you to do visit our library. Our chief librarian, Dr. Usha Munshi, ever since he has been at the helm of this library, she has initiated several programs and has really created awareness, amongst everyone as to how the library is so very important, and how everyone should get associated with it, and how the access to library can be provided to all. Before I end, I would like to say that the events and the conclaves which is organized by our library department under her leadership have been really acknowledged even by the policymakers. Just one example I like to present to you, that is a couple of years ago we organized a library conclave where the subject for discussion was one nation, one subscription. Because what we felt was that all the universities, various educational institutions, they have been subscribing to the foreign journals and magazines, etc. And everyone was coughing up a very big amount towards subscribing those things. So in that conclave, we discussed and felt that if you have one nation, one subscription, at a very cost-effective manner, all the institutions can have access to all those foreign publications and journals, etc. at a very economical thing. And we prepared a paper, and also we sent it to the government. I'm very happy to inform all of you that the government of India have accepted entirely whatever recommendations was made in that conclave, and they have now come out with that kind of new policy. So I mentioned this one was that whatever we discuss here, whatever we have discussed in today's event, we'll certainly try to reach out to all those people who should take note of it and see that the message which has emanated from here is actually taken forward and ultimately gets fully implemented. So with this, I conclude, and let me compliment each one of you for this great event, and we'll be looking forward for more and more such programs in future. So for IIC is concerned, we are always here to support such initiatives. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, sir. And to round off this wonderful day, I would love to invite the true Sathi of the Free Libraries movement, Chief Librarian at IIC, Dr. Usha Muju-Munshi.
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen, and dear Sathis. I'm speechless, actually. I prepared something, but I don't know whether I'm going to read that out or not. The thing is, the richness of the deliberations since morning has made me ponder, isn't it important to address even a single member in the library who has different requirements? Why do we say that we are catering to the masses and not to the minimum people? Because if you can make that one person happy and serve his needs, you're going to have rippling effect in the libraries. Distinguished guests, respected speakers, esteemed panelists, members of the Free Library Network, and my dear Sathis. It's with immense pride and privilege that I stand before you to propose a vote of thanks for today's landmark event. Building the People's Library. It is an ongoing process. It is work in process, and it is going to be work in process.